Hey, this is all about your self-worth, honey. So let's have this conversation. Because I got a lot of things that we need to be aware of, honey. So let's get into it. Hey, it's your girl Theona, and you're watching Self-Care Journeys. And if you didn't know, now you know. Self-care is the best care. So you already see the title, you already know what it is. But before we talk about the title, hunty, you already see my guestie. All right, who is this here? Is
Brittany.
Yes, girl. And what are we about to talk about?
Do you know your worth?
Do you know your worth? Do you know your worth? All right. I'm not saying you don't, but I'm gonna let y'all know. Usually when people talk about self-worth, they're usually talking about it having to do with a relationship. But girl, what it has everything to do with you, honey. So yes, we're gonna get right into this topic here. So guys, the first thing I would like to ask my girl is, what does self-worth mean to you?
So self-worth means leveling up all the time. Like,
right.
You never want to stay in the same predicament.
Right.
Like, you know who you are and you know who you want to be. Like, you know the woman that you want to become, sweetheart. Like, walk into that. Manifest that. Be in alignment with that. Like, first of all, get the mirror, sis. Because you know who you want to be.
You know who you want to be. You know where you want to go. Exactly.
And you know, like, when you're being treated wrong, we even treat ourselves wrong sometimes. And it's like, sis, first of all, no, cut it out. Go get in the shower. Let's go cry. Let's go cry in the shower.
Your worth is knowing that you need to cry. Like, sometimes you walk around feeling like, and I wasn't even thinking like that, but it's true. Sometimes you walk around trying to be strong and be so powerful for the rest of the world, but sometimes you gotta know that you gotta release, and tears is a way to release. And knowing your worth, knowing that you don't need to carry all that toxicity inside, you need to cry, you need to let it out. So that's actually true. So I'm gonna tell y'all what I think that self-worth is. Like, self-worth is such a big thing. Like, I hate the fact that it's only spoken about when we're talking about relationships. It's not really spoken about when we're talking about everyday life. Like, listen, the way that you treat your body, the things that you put into your body is also a reflection of your self-worth. Like, not just that, but just the way the surroundings that you engage in, the people that you engage in, the things you engage in, it's a reflection of your self-worth, because you put yourself in environments that uplift you. It reflects the level of self-worth that you have for yourself. You put yourself in relationships with people that don't treat you right. It's a reflection of what you think you deserve. What you tolerate, what you deal with has a lot to do with your self-worth. But people like to bracket it on the relationships. Yes, if you're in a relationship and somebody's curving you and they dubbing you and they not doing you right, or they're not on your level, or they're not giving you what you need.
Cut him, sis.
Cut him, sis. Cut her, sir. Cut it. You need to cut it. So yes, we need to, self-worth is so important. Like, even in the job, like, Brittany, is there things that you have done, like, working, that you realized that it wasn't valuing at your own job, your own self-worth, that you basically leveled up on?
Yeah, that was a job. Probably like 3 years ago, I was just working as, a service provider. And it's like, I was being overworked and underpaid, and I was always, reliable. They always called me for any shift. I did 24 hours. I did a lot of things that, I wasn't being promoted for or being, praised for. And of course, everybody wants to be praised just a little bit. Like, you don't have to be like, all hail the queen.
Right, but if you're doing a great job, you're bringing greatness to the job, and you're not getting paid the amount that you deserve, it's time for you to move on. Like, a lot of times, I'm not gonna lie, you'll have a job and sometimes you feel like that money is everything to you, because no funny stuff. Like, speaking of that, when I was working at McDonald's, it's not just about it being McDonald's. Of course, we know McDonald's, like, people say don't pay a lot of money or whatever the case might be, especially back then. Like, now they, it's more money, but back then, especially not. I was doing a lot of work. I was dropping the food. I was going downstairs. One time I fell on my face, and then they were all laughed at me. Nobody helped me. Nobody helped me do what I had to do. I had to run, go to the bathroom, clean, come back, and they were yelling at me, screaming at me, telling me to get everything done. And I had to look at myself like, I wanted this job so badly because I didn't really have a lot of experiences. But I was like, no, I need a different job, and I had to level up and get my resume, because this job wasn't reflecting my self-worth. I was getting disrespected, overworked, and I wasn't getting paid for half the stuff I was doing. And they were asking me to do like a 5-man job as a one person, and I was not being respected. I wasn't spoken to respectfully at the job, and they just didn't deal with me as if I was important at the job, and it just made me feel very, low. And I had to realize I had to level up on that job. Like, and I'm telling you, work is a place where we don't realize that our self-worth is necessary. Like, we talk about self-worth, like I said, in relationships, but that's not the only place that self-worth is necessary. We could even talk about self-worth in friendships. Sometimes you got a homegirl from back in the days that talks to you crazy, and then you keep that friend around just because you know her from back in the days, or because they did a couple of great things for you. But at the end of the day, your self-worth is knowing that you're not going to devalue yourself based on how somebody's going to treat you because of even time. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's such a broad thing, and we don't realize it, Brittany. Like, is there a friend that you would like to, maybe share? Do you know what I mean when I say that?
Like, I definitely have a friend recently, like probably 3 months ago.
Right.
She really thought that she valued me as a friend. She really basically relied on me, and like in her mind, she felt like I relied on her. But friendships go hand in hand. If me and you are a friend, we're friends. Regardless of what happens, we should be able to talk it out. She basically like stopped dealing with me because she was just too emotional. And I think
emotional about what?
Be a friend. I think she wants to be a girlfriend.
So she was trying to take the value system to a whole nother level.
Yeah, she didn't want me to. She didn't even want me to be your friend. So listen.
Ooh, girl, you didn't tell me that. That's tea. I just found out. Why? She don't even know me like that. So she was very, so sometimes you gotta know that sometimes your friends are toxic because they want you all to themselves, and sometimes you gotta value yourself and know that you gotta let them loose, honey, because it's true. And I don't know, sometimes I even talked to my grandmother about this earlier today. Like, I think sometimes when you're around people that are overly jealous of everything you do, I think that can devalue the relationship, and it might question your self-worth as well, because it's like, I'm with somebody that's, trying to be in competition with me. Yeah, and it's just like, I don't understand that. Like, if me and you as friends, like, why are you trying to be in and some people say competition is healthy. I get that, but I don't really, like, honestly, if you're my friend, we're on the same team, so I don't really see myself going against my friend. I just don't understand it. And it's just like, sometimes it devalues the relationship, and now you're wondering, like, is this my friend, or is it somebody I'm competing with, or is it somebody that's competing with me,
or it's the enemy keeping you close?
Right. It's crazy, because it's like people devalue the worth of things, the worth of a friendship, the way that by how they start to make the friendship become uncomfortable by how they deal with you.
Yeah.
I feel like self-worth is also sometimes removing yourself from situations like that.
Yes, it is.
It, like, because at the end of the day, like, when you have to start reflecting on if this person messes with me, or that person messes with me, or how far do they mess with me, or if I do this, they're gonna be a little bit angry because I'm promoted, or I got this going on for me, or I'm getting better,
or even if you're hesitant to tell your friend something really good, like, oh, I got a promotion, but you can't tell her or him because they're low-key jealous. Like, if you have that feeling already,
oh my God,
then that friendship or relationship needs to be ended. Like, sometimes even your family members,
you might be like, okay, this has nothing to do with my self-worth, but it does, because now you're downgrading you, because you don't want to have to talk about the upgrade that you got going on, because you're fearful that the person that you're messing with is not going to want to hear that. But why are you downgrading what's already supposed to be uplifted? You understand? If you had a real friend, you want to have to devalue your worth so that they can feel comfortable. Like seriously. So yeah, it is in a way lowering your self-worth. Like, I'm telling y'all, like, self-worth is much deeper than, oh, you feel me, he didn't treat me right and I'm leaving. Like, it's so much deeper than that.
You gotta treat yourself right. You gotta know your boundaries. Like, you should never be too comfortable with being at the bottom, or being at the situation that you're in,
or being tolerated.
Yeah, like, always, like, level up, upgrade, and always go further than you would ever imagine.
Right.
You see yourself as that amazing person, be that person.
That's true. Like don't, like she said, don't downgrade. you know, keep going, keep upgrading. And sometimes when you keep upgrading, sometimes you're gonna lose people, because you know it's like a climax. You keep going up, and everybody doesn't want to go up, or everybody is not gonna reach that peak or that height. And you know what, sometimes you're gonna be at that peak and that height by yourself until you get, you know, back to the new surroundings and start connecting with new people. It's real out here. Like,
yeah, and you just said you're gonna lose people, and if you don't lose anybody, you're losing yourself.
oh yes, because if you want to grow, and I feel like that's one of the things I used to always run from. I always knew that, like, the higher you get, the more you know, people you lose, because it's like your value is going up. If your value is not going up, that means that you're not going anywhere. And if you're gonna devalue yourself because you don't want to go anywhere because you're fearful of that, like, it has a lot, like I'm telling you, a lot of the self-centered things that I talk about, guys, everything comes back to you. Like, I'm not gonna front, like, recently I didn't make the best decision with something, and I had to get back to the center, which is me. I realized that I wasn't valuing the things that was important to me. I was trying to value somebody else's thoughts on what they wanted, and I had to check myself, like, Tiana, you're not comfortable with this. This is not a situation that serves you. Exactly. It might serve the other person, but it doesn't serve you, and it doesn't make that person right. It doesn't make me right or wrong. It just means that whatever serves you is what you have to go with. You can't devalue yourself to fit somebody else's value system. Don't get it twisted. All right. Just because somebody else's value system is good doesn't mean that your value system doesn't matter as well. You always have to make sure that you check in with yourself and know that, listen, this works for me, this does not work for me. Yeah. That's always important. And I almost forgot that, but your girl checked in with her girls, and they got me collected and back to the center, which is always you, honey.
Get you some good friends, sis.
Exactly.
It's great friends.
Exactly. And listen, that's all we got to say about the self-worth stuff, guys. It's not really, it's just that I want you guys to be more aware that it's a broad scale. Please like and subscribe and show your girls some love, because we definitely dropped some jewels. I hope this conversation enlightened you and made you feel more positive and made you see that your self-worth is everything, honey. Do you know your worth? Bye.
Bye.